What's happening, Hammers? Dan here for West Ham Fan TV, and I just wanted to quickly do this video reacting to the news that West Ham are set to miss out on Henry Onyekuru. It appears he's going to Everton. This is a player that we was interested in, we was in talks to sign, we was looking to sign, and in fact that he's gone to Everton now, it's caused a bit of outrage amongst fans, as it looks like, you know, we've missed out on a player that we really wanted to sign. So naturally this has started the panic, the worry. Is it going to be the same old, missing out on a player, pissing around, other people getting our targets, not paying the money that we need to pay, all of that sort of stuff. The thing with Henry Onyekuru, right? Now, he's gone to Everton. The big thing why he's been loaned, Everton have loaned him back out, is the work permit. He does not have a work permit granted at this time, so he's got to be loaned back out. So we was hoping to get the work permit sorted, sign him for this season. So even with this scenario, he would not have played for West Ham this season if that is the case. We could not get the work permit sorted. So we would have had to do the same thing. We've had to sign him, loan him back out. So, you know, the club might probably thought, well, we need to sign players for now, which is I totally agree with. We need to be looking to sign players for this season. We've got some players for the future. I don't mind if we get a couple of others, but I want us to focus on players for now. This Henry Onyekuru, none of us heard of him a couple months ago. No one had ever heard of him, but because like Arsenal wanted him, and you know all the media sort of talked him up, now everyone wants him, and he was a top player. We must sign him. I could care less that we haven't signed Onyekuru. Yeah, he could turn out to be like the next Lukaku, the next Henry, whatever. He could turn out to be a great player, but he could turn out to be crap. I want players for this season. Now, I'm not a big pro board guy. I'm not their sort of biggest backers, but I'm not their biggest critics. I'd like to say that I'm an even-handed person. You know, I call it how I see it. If there's something to be critical of, I'll be critical. If there's something to praise them for, I'll praise them. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got an agenda either way. So, you know, there are some people that put themselves in a camp, in certain different camps. I just go by what I see. And, you know, last season, last transfer window, they done a poor job. Poor job. Signed quantity over quality. Cheap bargain buys, and obviously the stadium, all the circus happened around that. But for me, I said, alright, cool, first season in the stadium, get out of the way, let's see if they learn from their mistakes. They said they're going to learn, so let's see if they learn. You know, there's been a lot of sort of people. I mean, I watched Amaran Talk's video, he done a video on transfers and how he thinks about it, which you can go on his channel and have a look at. And I disagreed with a lot of what he said, which is fine. You know what I mean? Jay's a nice guy, I ain't got nothing against him personally, but this is a platform, we can all disagree with each other, and I like the debate side of things. If anyone disagrees with me, then tell me and we can debate on it. That's what I love debating West Ham. To me, yes, it is very early in the transfer window. Now, as much as people might think we should be doing our business early, getting it done out of the way, it's not that simple. It's not that simple of saying, right, I want him, here's some money, give us the player. Because at the same time, you've got to think is other clubs, they don't want to sell early. People have to identify their targets before they sell. Everyone has that mindset of buy before you sell, buy before you sell. Because if you don't get anyone, you're going to be screwed, didn't you? You know, transfer window closes, you've sold some players that you could have done with, and then you've got nothing left. You know, you've got no decent players you haven't brought in. So it's not just a case of here's some money. It's got to be agreed with the club. The club have got to agree to sell the player. Then you've got to agree with the player themselves and sort that fee out. And then there's other stuff like work permits and all that sort of thing to deal with. Yes, it would be nice to get it done early, but it's not reality. Most transfers, the main transfers, occur in August by the time you get to that point. Because there's so much dealings and things that go back. You know, it's not just a case of here's 25 million. There's stuff to like add-ons some people want, and these other clauses, and you know, sell-on clauses, and all these other little things that have to be agreed. You know, these are businesses that run. It's not a case of, you know, like buying a car off someone or something like that. Oh, you want 300, is 300. It's not like there's so much tied up into it that as much as we want it to happen, it's not okay. It's not always as easy as, right, we can get a player by June. Especially the top players, right? I want them to really make sure that we get the best players, right? Rather than just rush and sign in any Tom, Dick and Harry, right? We need quality over quantity, right? We need, I'd say, at least 3 other players. 2 strikers, maybe a left winger. I mean, and anything else over that is a bonus. We've got our right back, so maybe a goalkeeper. But to me, the 2 strikers is the most critical, and we have to get that right. We just have to. Another thing Jay spoke about in his video a bit was about us signing like Arsenal, looking to sign Arsenal, Chelsea cast-offs. You know, and why can't we just, you know, is 25 million for Batshuayi, or 20 million for Giroud, or 20 million for Iheanacho, give us the player. But the thing is, like Chelsea, Arsenal, City, 20 million, they'll piss on that. They'll laugh in your face. Like, they don't have to sell us their players. They don't have to sell their players at all. And 20 million to Chelsea or Arsenal or City is nothing. That's peanuts. So why are they going to sell these players that they might need if they can't replace them with better players? You know what I mean? Like Batshuayi, you know, they don't know what Costa's situation is. Are they going to lose Diego Costa? If they lose Costa, then who can they bring in? And if that person they bring in doesn't hit the ground running and could be another Falcao, remember what happened with him, then they're going to want maybe someone like Batshuayi. So it's very crucial that other clubs, for them to bring in players before thinking about who they're going to sell. There's no pressure at all. If they don't sell these players, they'll be fine. When you look at other clubs, like, you know, these Belgian clubs or whatever, the money is key for them. It's massive for them. So they'll just try and push up and get the highest bidder to pay at the end of the day and meet their prices. But these clubs like Arsenal and Chelsea and that, they don't have to sell. They can let these players sit on the bench for all they care. It's not a thing. Make no mistake. I'm not saying I'm confident. I'm not saying I'm confident about this transfer window by any means of the imagination. I remember last summer, you know, how poor that was, and you know, we went through that awful season and things like that. I'm not saying I'm confident that we're going to do the business, but what I'm saying is I'm going to try and just be patient and keep my mouth shut, so to speak. You know, not sort of overreact and rant until the deadline day closes. Here's the thing, to me, if it doesn't happen, on the transfer deadline day comes and we haven't signed the players that we need, we haven't signed any top strikers, the board have to go. They absolutely have to go, because this was key. Now, we was promised, we were sold on this move to the Olympic Stadium that this is going to take us to the next level. We're going to be able to attract better players. We're going to be able to compete with the best. All of that sort of thing, right? So that got us all excited. We all went on, you know, most of us went on board towards the end. Some maybe more than others. That, all right, you know, let's get behind this move to the new stadium. So this move has to be justified, because what is the point in us moving to this stadium that really isn't that great, to be honest with you, if we're not going to get better, if we're not going to see the team get better? Because we might as well have stayed where we were. If we was going to be, you know, languishing mid-table, not signing any good players, not improving, not showing ambition, why move? You know, we all preferred it where we were. We was all happy there. We all liked the stadium where we was at. But the only reason we all wanted to move, or anyone wanted to move, was the fact that it could take us to the next level. There will be absolutely no excuses if this transfer window is not a good window at the end of the day. Despite what I've said about players, teams not having to sell, things like that, there are plenty of players out there that we can go and get that can improve our squad, basically our team. And for me, it's about, do you want to sell this player? Here's how much I'm going to give you. No, move on. Like, that's what it has to be. We cannot have a Carlos Bacca situation, dragging it out. Please sell the player. Please sell the player. Oh, please. Oh, I'll give you $1 million more. Oh, here's another $1 million. What about $2 million extra? You know what I mean? It has to be, make an offer, it's rejected. Make a second offer, it's rejected. Move on. Same with the players. Offer them decent wages. If they still don't want to come, move on. So that's what I'm going to say is be patient, right? There's a long time left to go in this transfer window. We want to get the best players. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's give them this chance. Like I said, I'm not confident. We know their track record, but let's see if they can pull it off this year. And if they don't, let's make our voices heard, and we will let them know exactly how we feel. So yeah, I just thought I'd give my reactions to that story, that Onyekuru story. Like I said, I'd never heard of him. I'm not bothered about not signing him. Let's go and get some proven players and let's crack on. We'll see. So thank you guys so much for watching. One thing left to say, come on you Irons.